Brianna. I am back on YouTube. Did you guys miss me? Are you proud of me for making another video? I'm actually really want to get back doing this. Dior, get down. Anyways, I want to get back doing this because, I don't know, I'm just going to try, you know? And I also started a podcast called BSA, Brianna Shanae Announcement, or Brianna Service Announcement. And one of the topics that I decided to do for episode 4, so I already posted 3 episodes, you should go check that out, was how did I start Matte Brand? I've had a lot of people ask me questions about this, and I just really wanted to get into it, you know? Let's talk about it. So one of the questions that I got was, what was the reason behind Matte Brand? Why did you start and why did you name it Matte? Why did I name it Matte Brand? So I was actually dating Kobe at the time. He is someone that I will always give credit for helping me start Matte Brand because he was a huge inspiration, and I think that his influence played a big part in why it was very successful very early. He already owned a streetwear brand, and he like kind of blended the idea of very good branding with kind of the boutique era that was really big at that time. And with the name, he had the idea to name a brand that he wanted to start Matte, which he had told me like probably 4 months before I even thought about starting a brand. When I had the idea to start Matte, I was like, yo, can I have that name? And he was like, okay, cool. So I named it Matte Brand. Why did I start Matte? I was living in New York. I had dropped out of college probably like 8 months prior to me starting Matte. I really just needed money. When I moved to New York, I was super big on not getting a job. I wanted to work for myself, and so I was always trying to figure out how can I like make money untraditionally. My first idea was a app idea, actually. Started making beats around that time. That's when I really learned how to make beats, and I learned the software that I still use now. I was just like trying to find a way to work for myself, and then I had the idea to start Matte, and I was like, I think I can do this. This will be a good way for me to make money. So I always tell people that money was definitely the number one driving force behind it. I wasn't even really like that much of a fashion person at the time, or really at all. Like, definitely didn't own any designer at the time. And I come from Little Rock, Arkansas, where we don't even have a Macy's. So, you know, moving over so I can have better lighting. All right, cool. Next question. So the number one question that I got was, how much money did you use when you started Matte? When I started Matte, I was living with Kobe at the time. I had been living with him for 2 months, and that was the only time that I lived with someone and like didn't pay rent. But because I was doing that, I felt like I should get a job. I started becoming someone's assistant, and I used to like literally take the train 2 hours to get there, and my checks was like $100. Like, it was terrible. I had no money. Definitely started with like around $300. I know nothing more than that. And a lot of people are like, how? Mainly because when you start a business, especially an online business, the best thing to do is to start. Just start. A lot of people don't get far because they just don't start. You know, I think although when I started my business, I didn't have anywhere near the stock that I have now, and probably didn't need it also because I didn't have the fan base. It was still enough for me to start, for me to get like 1 or 2 sales a week, or, you know, whatever. And it was enough for me to just start the website. And I think the website was most important because I created an outlet for myself to build a following for people to be comfortable shopping with me. I think I had a mesh t-shirt. That was like the best seller. I had a knit shirt, some like jewelry or whatever, but I didn't have like that much stuff when I started. And I remember people were like even making fun of me. Like, oh, you said you were starting a brand and this is what you dropped. But start small. Those mesh shirts was the only thing that sold, but they were so cheap. I was buying them off of line somewhere, and I was selling them, I think making probably like $20 on top of them. So I just started flipping those until my next idea came. Started Matte in August 2014, and by October I had already made my first $1,000 in a day. I came up with the idea to sell custom Halloween costumes. I always would say, like when I started, that I feel like it was those good decisions early on. No one was really selling custom Halloween costumes. You only got Halloween costumes at Party City. So I feel like the fact that I just came up with a good idea of like providing girls online with something cute that you can't get anywhere else, it drew a lot of attention. And I think custom Halloween costumes would be a really good idea for any designer. Someone said, where did you learn to sew? I do not know how to sew. I tried to learn how to sew like when I first started Matte, and I tried to make a pencil skirt and I couldn't even thread the goddamn needle, and I was just over it. But I honestly feel like not sewing has helped me more than it's hurt me, because it pushed me to manufacture within the first year of my business being born. And I think that a lot of girls that sew lean on them always making the pieces, and that kind of hinders you because you can't sell as much. A lot of people are scared of manufacturing, but I believe in it because I feel like when you are pushed to order in larger quantities, then you are forced to find the drive to sell it, you know? Now let's see what other questions we got here. Were you good at sketching when you first started, and how did you learn to get better? So no, I could not sketch at all. Start working with girls that could sew, and I'll be like, hey, like, can we make let's so take this fabric. I remember one of the first things I actually designed was this this mesh skirt. And we just found the mesh fabric, and I was like, this would be cute as a skirt. And, you know, I asked someone that knew how to sew if we could make it, and I used to pay them 60% of the sales, and I would take 40%, and I would just model it on my Instagram, and I still felt like I was making really good money that way. So I wasn't sketching back then. I was just kind of telling them my ideas, and then because they were already really into it, then they could like bring it to life. I didn't really start sketching until, I don't know what year that was, but when I got my iPad, I started sketching, and I use Adobe Illustrator. I find fashion figures online, I screenshot them, and you can like upload them to Adobe Illustrator and trace on top of them, and that is how I got good at sketching. And you can see, like, if you look on my iPad, you can see like how my sketches was like when I first started, how they've gotten so much better. It really just takes for me to be in the mood, because it's truly an like art kind of, whenever I really care and I like go in. Later this month be posting a vlog to talk about the creation of Matte 1992. So I'll post like my sketches there because I think it looks really cute. I'm wondering about how you found manufacturers and affordable materials. Okay, so someone also asked, how has my manufacturing journey been? My manufacturing journey was hard and ruthless. There are honestly about 3 people that I owe lawsuits to. The first group stole $10,000 from me. Second, 2 people, they stole $30,000 from me. And then the other people I don't even know is probably around like $80,000. They still have forward merchandise. So I definitely went through my fair share of dealing with shiesty ass fucking manufacturers, and a lot of times I was very silent about it. Actually, the whole time I've been very silent about it. I don't think I've ever talked to you guys about any of the issues that I've had. So the first manufacturer that I ever worked with, she was not really a manufacturer. She had like a sewing company. 3 or 4 sewers in a room. We would just buy fabric, cut it, and they would sew it, and there was really no minimums. And it was the first year when I was in LA with Matte. She made all the clothes from the first year of Matte. And it's a lot of the pieces that would probably never be able to come back because all the fabric that we bought was like dead stock and whatever, you know. The way we ended up not working together anymore was I was kind of growing too big for her. I think she could tell that, and she really wanted to own a piece of my company because she felt like she was the reason that the success was growing so big, whatever. Anyway, I paid $10,000 for her to start an order, and she brought me back cut up fabric. She did not refund me. She did not provide me any money back. She did not finish the order, and she pretty much just blocked me, whatever. And that was the first time that I was like, it was just crazy. So I had to just take that $10,000 L and just start finding other manufacturers to work with. And that was a process. And that's how I've ended up working with so many different people and having people get in my ear. once you become a black person that white people feel like they can make money off of, they like to make you feel like you need them. And I went through that a lot, because I even had some people ask me how has it been being a black woman. And definitely, I mean, even the first woman, she told me you minus me equals disaster. I want to print out that text message. This was like probably in 2016 we're in 2020 now. She said you minus me equals a disaster, and you don't know how to make a garment. Anyway, so it took me a while to find a good manufacturer. I kept going, and I just would take the L, and through all the L's, I would just know that the most valuable thing was that I had customers that were willing to buy from me. So it didn't matter how much money I lost, as long as I could provide my customers with something to buy, then I was in the game, because I don't need anyone to sell since I created the platform for myself. All I need is product. How long did it take you to start making money? Like I said, I think I made my first $1,000 in a day, like 2 months after I started. I set money goals. In 2016, which was the first year that I lived in LA with Matt, I made $100,000, but it was my goal to make $1,000 a day, or I think $10,000 a month or something like that. I like to set goals like that because that helps me to, it's kind of like a shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon, and among the stars type of thing. This video is getting kind of long. Maybe I'll have to do a part 2. Okay, I think there's only one other question that I really had here. How do you create your own patterns? So I don't know how to create my own patterns. I know my strengths, and I don't want to waste time learning things that I can pay other people to do. You need a team to really, really get things done. You can't run a multi-million-dollar business and you're the one doing everything. Definitely wish I could make my own patterns. That would be amazing. I just feel like I also don't mind paying $100 for someone else to do it, especially when I can include it in my cost and just make the money on the back end. Make more quality clothes, because this is something that she studied and is a professional at. You feel me? So for now, that's all. I want to do a part 2, and on part 2, I want to talk more about like the creative aspect, doing photo shoots, choosing models, designing. But let me know if you guys like this, and I'm gonna try to keep this up, okay? Love you.